Good morning and welcome to this report on the most significant developments shaping the United States and the world over the past 48 hours. As of April 11th, 2025, in this briefing, we'll cover three key areas: U.S. financial markets, domestic political shifts, and critical global events. Let's dive in. U.S. financial developments. U.S. financial landscape has been turbulent, driven by trade policy, uncertainty, and market reactions. In the last 2 days, stock markets experienced sharp volatility, with the S&P 500 and Dow Jones Industrial Average fluctuating as investors grappled with concerns over potential trade disruptions. A major talking point has been the ongoing discussion around tariffs, particularly after recent executive actions signaled a possible escalation in trade. Tensions with key partners like China and the European Union, while no new tariffs were officially implemented in the past 48 hours. The mere threat has rattled markets, with tech and manufacturing sectors like Tesla and Caterpillar seeing notable swings. This volatility stems from fears of stagflation, a toxic mix of stagnant growth and rising prices. Analysts have pointed to supply chain risks and higher import costs as potential triggers. For instance, a prominent economist recently labeled tariff-related uncertainty a stagflationary shock, warning that it could push consumer prices higher while slowing economic output. Meanwhile, bond yields have dipped slightly, with 10-year Treasury notes hovering around historic lows, reflecting investor caution and a flight to safety. The Federal Reserve has remained silent in the past 2 days, but futures markets now suggest a 75% chance of multiple rate cuts this year, signaling growing recession fears. On a brighter note, some sectors are showing resilience. Discount retailers and consumer goods companies have gained ground as investors bet on their stability amid economic uncertainty. However, corporate leaders are voicing concerns about hiring challenges, with reports of fake job applicants flooding remote work listings, a sign of labor market distortions that could complicate recovery efforts. U.S. political developments. The U.S. has seen intense activity centered on trade policy and domestic governance. In the last 48 hours, the White House has been a focal point, with President Trump reportedly reviewing executive orders aimed at reshaping federal regulations. One order, signed yesterday, targets water usage restrictions framed as a move to improve consumer choice, but criticized by environmental groups as a rollback of conservation efforts. This has sparked debate in Congress, where bipartisan frustration over executive overreach is growing. On Capitol Hill, a bipartisan push to curb presidential tariff authority gained traction. A senator from Washington state, speaking yesterday, called tariffs an economic nightmare and rallied support for a bill requiring congressional approval for major trade actions. This reflects broader unease about the economic fallout from trade wars, especially after markets tanked earlier. This week, the bill's prospects remain uncertain, but it's a rare sign of cross-party cooperation in a polarized climate. Elsewhere, political rhetoric has heated up ahead of midterm election cycles. Immigration policy is back in the spotlight, with the administration announcing plans to screen social media profiles of certain visa applicants. Rights advocates have raised alarms, citing privacy concerns, while supporters argue it's a necessary security measure. This move, reported yesterday, is likely to fuel legal challenges, adding to the administration's packed courtroom docket.